When new desires are born within you, you don't feel frisky about them because your awareness of your current reality holds you in vibrational attitude of your current reality, which doesn't let you expand past it. Did you hear that? If what's going on now, what's in your bank account, who's in your life, who you're sleeping with, who you want, who's up close to you, who you're working with, if the reality of what is what's most vivid, most talked about, and therefore most active in your vibration, then you are preventing, in most cases, the evolution or expansion from what is into what you prefer. And it's only because you are so enamored, so excited, so bowled over, so impressed, so aware of, somebody's convinced you that your now reality is what you should be giving your time and attention to. And we say, if we were standing in your physical shoes, we would give but a small part of our attention to what is, only enough to launch new rockets of desire. And we would give our undivided attention to the new ideas, to what we are wanting and why we are wanting them. Because you are expanding beings, you are creators, you are the creator of your reality, and what you are creating is the expanded version of you. You're asking how we fit into the picture. In other words, who are we? We define you as source energy in physical form. So we would say about ourselves that we are source energy not currently in physical form. We stand in a vibrational realm where we do not lose sight of who you have become. In other words, your current reality, which has almost all of your undivided attention, is not the part of your reality that gets our undivided attention. We give our undivided attention to your vibrational reality. So let's explain how this comes about. Do you know that you were source energy before you came into this body? Sometimes you call that your soul, your source. Sometimes you refer to that as God. Source energy is who you were before you came forth into this physical body. And then from that source energy perspective, you projected a part of your consciousness into this personality that now you describe as you. We describe it as a part of you. So here you are in physical form, exploring your physical realm and deciphering from this physical realm new things that you prefer. Now, it is a wonderful thing that you are here focused in this leading edge time-space reality. Because in this environment where you know what you don't want, you are able to conclude with more decision what you do want. In other words, through the deciphering of the data that surrounds you, you come to constant new conclusions of improvement of life experience. And therefore, you put the eternalness in eternity. That's the way we like to explain it to you. Because of your exposure to this leading edge time-space reality, you keep asking from your leading edge for more leading edge that would be even more improved. And when that happens, whether you speak words about it or not, you launch vibrational rockets forward into this non-physical reality where we stand, where we be, where we are. And when you send your leading edge rocket into the furthest, most expanded version of you, which is now again the non-physical version of you that exists even while you are physically focused, we and you, the non-physical version of you, hold fast to that newly improved version. In other words, when you are sick, you ask for wellness, and we hold to the idea of your wellness that has been newly decided because you have been sick. When you don't have enough money and you ask for more prosperity, we hold to the idea of that more prosperity. In fact, your vibrational reality is the most vivid reality that exists because it is the new point of attraction. It is the new point of the expanded universe. It is the new point of all that is, you see. So what has happened to you is, in your physical form, life has caused you to expand. And whether you take the expansion or not, We do. The larger part of you does. Your inner being does take the expansion. So the emotions that you feel all day, every day, are giving you clear moment by moment indicators of whether you, in your physical body, have taken the expansion or not. If you feel frisky, you did. If you feel love, you did. If you feel appreciation, you did. If you feel frustration, you didn't. If you feel fear, you really didn't. If you feel anger, you didn't. In other words, the negative emotion that you feel is your indicator that you sent a rocket and the larger part of you became it, but the physical part of you, the human part of you, the complaining part of you, the aware of physical part of you, didn't. So what this gathering is about is to help you to, first of all, recognize the two vibrating aspects of you, and to realize that you in your physical form are sending rockets of expansion to you in your non-physical form. And if you don't keep up with the rockets you're sending, you don't feel good. We want to speak very clearly to you here today that every negative emotion you feel, without exception, only means you're not keeping up with you. It doesn't mean you're disappointing someone else. It doesn't mean that God or that which is non-physical is frowning on you. It doesn't mean you've set yourself up for future punishment. Every negative emotion that you feel in any moment that you feel it only simply means you expanded. But because of your physical attention, you're not allowing yourself to take your expansion. It is fun for us to interact with you in your physical form. Because while sometimes you have an interest in that which we are, we want you to understand that truly the interest you have in that which we are is an interest in that which you are. Because we stand only as representative of the expansion that is you. You could refer to us as a combination of inner beings. You could refer to us as a collection of non-physical soul. You could refer to us as source energy, because we stand in the vibration of that which is the energy, of that which is the source, of that which is you. But what we really want you to do, as a result of our conversation here today, we want you to at least establish a desire to consciously discover the integration between you and you. We want you to feel the fullness of not just who you were before you were born, but who you have become since. Is that sort of clear to you? That this life is causing you constantly to expand, and when you allow the expansion, you feel so good, and when you don't, you don't? So this vibrational reality that we are describing, which is where the larger part of you stands, it's where we are, and it's where all of the ideas of expansion that you have requested are. And if you can wrap your thoughts around the existence of this vibrational reality, if you can accept it as a reality, not vibrational reality in the sense that it is future creation for you, but reality in the sense that it is present creation. It presently exists as a point of attraction. That's really the point that we want to get across to you. When you ask, what you ask for becomes a vibrational reality that is present tense for those of us who stand in the vibration of what you have created. And the only reason you ever feel negative emotion is because you are somehow, in your opinion of this vibrational reality, holding yourself separate from it. Feel the difference between saying, I am worthy, and saying, I hope to be, or I'm not. Feel the difference between understanding, I own this prosperity, and prosperity is a future event for me. In other words, when you come to understand that when you ask, the larger part of you has become it, and you come to focus upon what's in this vibrational reality until you've trained yourself into the vivid description of it, the way you have trained yourself into the vivid description of your now manifested reality, things will move quickly for you. A good example is someone who may have an ailment in their body. maybe something that the doctors have diagnosed. It's troubling to them, and it exists. It's showing up on x-rays. It's showing up in blood tests. It's showing up on the tongue of the physician. In other words, it's a reality, and you are aware of the reality. But what you may not be aware of is that in the living of this more defined, exaggerated reality, you've sent more rockets of desire into your vibrational reality than you normally do. You've been asking with greater clarity lately, big time. So you have put into your vibrational reality a surer, clearer, healthier person than existed before the illness was discovered or experienced, diagnosed, or discussed. So your vibrational reality now exists. Your inner being stands there in it, but often you are so aware of the reality that you are living, you're not even considering what you're asking for. That's sort of like a pipe dream. That's sort of like airy-fairy. That's sort of like illusion. That's sort of like fantasy. You've been trained to face reality. So you spend more time talking about the illness, more time talking about the blood test, more time talking about the diagnosis, more time talking about the current reality. And in doing so, the only thing that happens that matters is that you hold yourself vibrationally out of whack of the improved version that exists in the vibrational reality. If we could just convince you that the current reality is insignificant. Now, we know it's hard for you to hear that because you say, but I feel it. I see it. It's around me. It's in my face. I'm experiencing it. And we say, only because you're focusing upon it. You could focus. You don't know it yet. But by the end of this day, we want you to know it. You could focus as easily upon what's in the vibrational reality as you do in this reality. This diddly squat reality. That's what we're going to call your reality from now on. Diddly squat reality. This reality that was the bouncing off place, and sure it matters, and sure it's full of contrast, and sure it will do its work, but its work, this diddly squat reality that you're also enamored with, it does its work, and you know what its work is? It's the launching pad for the vibrational reality, for the reality that you want to call future tense that we know is present tense. So if we can get you over here into this vortex of creation where you belong, over here where everything you want is and where the larger part of you is, then there will be no separation between you. And then you can't be sick, and you can't be mad, and you can't be poor, and you can't be confused, and you can't be out of balance, and you can't not feel good. You can't not feel good when you're in your vortex of creation. This is the reality. This is where it's at. This that you call life is diddly squat. Now that's just our perspective. Because you got to understand, we stand over here not only as the beginning of that which you became in your physical form, but as the culmination of that which you have become. In other words, we stand in the leading edge place. We stand in the furthest, most expanded, most evolved, most eager, most frisky, most in love with life, most eternal, most worthy place, most worthy being that you are. And so we will never, ever, ever, not one time ever, come out of the vortex to commiserate with you. If we're going to have a conversation with you, you got to come into the vortex where we are. Now, Esther provides a bridge. Esther provides the bridge where we can combine that which you are and that which you really are. But we really want you to set your intention to get into this vortex. Get in the vortex. Just get in the vortex. Get in the vortex. Get in the vortex. By the end of this day, you will be saying to us, the vortex is where it's at. The vortex is where it's at. The vortex is where law of attraction responds to the most dynamic, largest version of that which I am. And because law of attraction is continually responding to this largest, most dynamic version of you, when you focus upon something that doesn't match it, you feel the tug, and that's what negative emotion is. So see this swirling vortex of creation where law of attraction is responding to this powerful you that has been in the process of becoming for longer than you understand time to be. Feel the power of that. And then see yourself somewhere in relationship to it. If you're angry, vibrationally, you're very far apart. And even though it's calling you, you've got your heels dug in. You've practiced a vibration that isn't letting you go easily. Oh, you're going.